Hello students, in the today's class let's go for a quick revision of ethers. Ethers is a very small topic and very important topic for board as well as for competitive exams. Clear? So without wasting time, let's start the today's class. First, let's go for a general introduction for ethers. The general formula of ethers is ROR, where R stands for alkyl group. And the general formula of this is CnH2n plus 2O. Even alcohols also have the same general formula, so we can make a conclusion that alcohols and ethers are example for functional isomers. Next, general IUPAC name for ethers is alkoxyalkane. Ethers are the functional groups which do not have a suffix, they have a prefix. Such functional groups which do not have a suffix but have a prefix are called as non-carbon substituents. So ether is an example for non-carbon substituent. Next, coming to the classification of ethers. Ethers are classified into 5 types. They are simple ethers, mixed ethers, aromatic ethers, cyclic ethers and crown ethers. So let us discuss one by one in detail. First, let's go for simple ethers. Simple ethers are also called symmetrical ethers. Simple ethers contain two similar alkyl groups. The two alkyl groups are similar in case of simple or symmetrical ethers. Example for simple ethers: dimethyl ether, diethyl ether. The structure for this dimethyl ether is this. The two alkyl groups are same, so it is a symmetrical ether. Next, structure of diethyl ether is this. Clear? Next, let's go for mixed ethers. Mixed ethers are also called as unsymmetrical ethers. In case of mixed ethers, the two alkyl groups are different. Example for this: ethyl methyl ether and ethyl isopropyl ether are the examples. Let's see the structure for ethyl methyl ether. Ethyl methyl ether. The two alkyl groups are different, so this is an example for unsymmetrical ether. Structure of ethyl isopropyl ether. So this is the structure for ethyl isopropyl ether. Next, aromatic ethers. The name itself is indicating they have aromatic ring in its structure. Example for aromatic ethers: anisole and phenitol are the example for aromatic ethers. Anisole also called as methoxybenzene. Structure of methoxybenzene is this. So this is a benzene ring. That benzene ring is connected to methoxy group. Right? So benzene as a substituent is called phenyl. So that benzene as a substituent is going to be called as phenyl. So from now onwards, is a benzene ring. If you remove one hydrogen from benzene, that benzene becomes phenyl. So from now onwards, the phenyl group, I am going to upgrade this as pH. Instead of writing the benzene again and again, we can simplify that benzene ring as pH. Next, phenitol. Phenitol nothing but ethoxybenzene. So this part is called, this is the structure for the ethoxybenzene, which is also called as phenitol. Next, cyclic ethers. The name itself is indicating these are the ethers with a ring structure. Example for cyclic ethers are ethylene oxide and propylene oxide. Structure for ethylene oxide: ethylene oxide has got 2 carbon and a ring structure. So total it's a 3-member ring. This ethylene oxide is also called as oxirane. Next, propylene oxide. The name itself is indicating propylene. It has got 3 carbon atoms and the ether in the form of ring structure like this. The bond line formula for ethylene oxide can be written like this. The bond line formula for propylene oxide, the bond line formula for propylene oxide can be written like this. Clear? Next classification. Next classification is crown ethers. Crown ethers are cyclic polyethers. Example for crown ethers are 12 crown 4 and 18 crown 6. The last number indicates total oxygen atoms. The first number indicates the carbon and oxygen atoms. Total carbon and oxygen atoms is indicated by the first number. Let's see the structure of the 12 crown 4. It has got, the name itself is indicating, it has got 4 oxygen atoms. First oxygen, second oxygen, third oxygen, fourth oxygen. 2 oxygen atoms will be connected by 2 carbon atoms like this. 2 oxygen atoms are connected by 2 carbon atoms like this. So that's the structure for 12 crown 4. Next, 18 crown 6. The name itself is indicating it has got 6 oxygen atoms. You can write here 1, 2, 3. 4th oxygen, 5th oxygen, 6th oxygen. 2 oxygen atoms are connected by 2 carbon atoms. Like this. It's just like Rangoli during Pongal festival. Clear? So this is the structure for 18 crown 6. Next, let's go for preparation of ethers. There are 2 different methods of preparation of ethers. The first method among them is by dehydration of alcohols. Alcohols undergo dehydration in the presence of protic acids like sulfuric acid and phosphoric acid to form ethers. The formation of ethers will follow SN2 mechanism. Now I'll give an example here. So here 2 molecules of ethyl alcohol, first molecule of ethyl alcohol, second molecule of ethyl alcohol are heated with concentrated sulfuric acid at a temperature of 140 degrees centigrade. And this is a temperature sensitive reaction. So upon heating 2 molecules of alcohol with sulfuric acid at 140 degrees centigrade, intermolecular dehydration takes place to form diethyl ether as a product. Clear? Now let's go for mechanism of this reaction. Right? We already know that the mechanism, this reaction follows SN2 mechanism. So first step in the mechanism is protonation. The first molecule of alcohol will react with acid. Acid can be visualized as H+. So alcohol will undergo protonation to form protonated alcohol. The first molecule is undergoing protonation to form protonated alcohol. The second molecule of alcohol acts as a nucleophile, attacks the protonated alcohol by SN2 mechanism. So the second molecule of alcohol attacks the protonated alcohol by SN2 mechanism. In this reaction, the incoming nucleophile is ethyl alcohol. The outgoing leaving group is water. So that results in formation of following compound. And this protonated ether is stabilized by loss of H+. Upon removal of H+, we get the corresponding diethyl ether as a final product. Clear? And check it out. So this mechanism involves the SN2 attack of alcohol on protonated alcohol. Limitations. This reaction has got some limitations. First limitation, the first limitation is that this method is suitable for preparation of ethers with primary alkyl groups only. Ethers with secondary, tertiary, bulky, aryl and vinyl alkyl groups cannot be prepared by this method. Next, second drawback. You can see the second drawback. Here, the alkyl group should be sterically less crowded and the temperature must be kept low. If you go for high temperature, instead of going for substitution, it will go for elimination to form alkene as a final product. So remember, always elimination and substitution reactions will be competing with each other, always. At low temperature, substitution take place. At high temperatures, elimination take place. Next, the dehydration of secondary and tertiary alcohols to give ether is not successful because they cannot go for SN2 reactions. Clear? Next, write equations for preparation of following ethers by dehydration of alcohols. First equation I have already done with mechanism. It was completed. Now second. So here this is an unsymmetrical ether where the two alkyl groups are different. So ethyl, methyl, ether. So it is not appropriate to prepare an unsymmetrical ether by dehydration of alcohols. The same question is there in our NCERT textbook also. The reason for this is if you try to prepare an unsymmetrical ether, we need to take two different alcohols. If you take two different alcohols and make them to undergo dehydration, we get mixture of ethers like this. So these are the different possibilities of the ethers. Right? In addition to our desired unsymmetrical ether, we are getting unwanted and undesired ethers. So this is not an appropriate method for preparation of unsymmetrical ethers. Then, how to prepare unsymmetrical ethers? Unsymmetrical ethers can be prepared by Williamson ether synthesis, a very important reaction for board as well as for competitive exams. This is a very important reaction. Clear? So by using this Williamson ether synthesis, we can prepare symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical ethers. This Williamson ether synthesis involves the SN2 attack of alkoxide on primary alkyl halide. You can see the equation here. This is the alkoxide, RO minus is an alkoxide, RX is an alkyl halide. For this reaction to happen, the alkyl halide should be primary. You can check one more time. Alkoxide, RO minus, alkyl halide represented as Rx. For Williamson reaction to take place, the alkyl halide should be primary because Williamson ether synthesis proceed by SN2 mechanism. We know that SN2 reaction, the sterically less crowded substrates will readily go for SN2 reactions. So this alkoxide acts as a nucleophile, attacks the primary alkyl halide by SN2 mechanism. The incoming nucleophile is alkoxide, the outgoing leaving group is X minus. X minus will depart out from here and that results in the formation of following ether as a final product. The two alkyl groups, if they are similar, then we get a symmetrical ether. Suppose if the two alkyl groups are different, then we get an unsymmetrical ether. The only condition for Williamson ether synthesis is that the alkyl halide should be primary for better yield of the product. Alkoxide can be, it may be primary, secondary, tertiary, bulky, vinyl or aryl, it can be anything. Clear? Next. Next, in case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halides, elimination is going to compete over substitution reaction. So this reaction is given best by only primary alkyl halides. If you use tertiary alkyl halide, right, ethers will not be formed. Instead of ether, an alkene will be formed because a tertiary alkyl halide will readily undergo elimination rather than substitution. Clear? You can see this, the reason for this. If you take a tertiary alkyl halide, the alkoxide can not only act as a nucleophile, it can also act as a strong base. Base will bring about elimination reaction, nucleophile will bring about substitution reactions. Next, write equations for the preparation of following ethers. So you can make it as an assignment. Try yourself. Clear? I'll continue the next session. If you like this video, if you find this video useful, please like it, share with your friends and neighbors, and subscribe. Thank you very much.